Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to the show. Thank you for watching. Yes, today we are going to be talking about the benefit of a referendum. I know there has been a lot of talk around about this topic, and today I said I should come and try and elaborate on the topic. Okay. We have been in this struggle for the past 7 years, and the number one question most people ask is that, don't we have support, or is our struggle different from Ukraine or the other independence struggle or other type of crisis going on around the world? But we fail to understand how international community works. Okay. We have had series of opportunities like the one we had in Switzerland and also the one we had in Canada. But as it takes, when two countries or two belligerent countries are fighting, most countries come just to support. They come to do one or two things to help because they have their own problems. The opportunity that most of that Ambazonian have had, sometimes we don't take them serious. Okay. For the past 7 years, we have had failures in the diplomatic side. The biggest failure that we have had is diplomacy. I've been in this struggle from the beginning, and I will tell you, the Siseko regime did nothing with diplomacy. Sako regime did nothing with diplomacy. Okay? When Iya Maranta came, she did nothing. Okay? I will tell you, even Switzerland negotiation was arranged by Secretary Chris back then. Then he was the secretary. This particular Canada negotiation that La Republique initiated, La Republique back out. Why? Because Comrade Chris Ano got inside the whole thing. Okay. Now, people are giving their own versions or options about the referendum, and they are bringing histories, they are bringing different types of laws and this. But when you have diplomacy, okay, the diplomatic community works in a very different way. They don't work like a book that you go and study and start naming section this of this section. That's not how diplomacy works. Diplomats are people who are in the field, and if you see Canada, for example, coming to help or to talk about the struggle, do you think that the Canadian government come but from Canada? The Canada government come from Cameroon. The ambassadors, the high commissioners, the diplomats in Cameroon are the ones giving report to the government. So they know what is happening on the ground. They know. They are not strangers. I see some people, when people are trying to have some diplomatic meetings, they go and say, oh, they are talking to La Republique, oh, they are doing this, that. What is all that for? If you have a crisis, Look at the way the Ukrainian president is going to ask for support. Look at the way the other crisis ended. There are countries that will even fight for 20 years. No one country will even say kick. They will be fighting. South Sudan and Sudan fought for many years. Okay, so when you have certain opportunities, diplomacy, the best thing to do in diplomacy is to go to that meetings. Any meeting that you have been invited, go and listen. Because it might be your last chance and you miss that opportunity. I don't see why you are fighting for your own freedom and somebody come that, please, can I see what I can do to help in this your crisis? You say, no, I don't want you to come to help me. You did not help. And this help is not even that you are paying the person. These countries, you don't give them money. These are countries that want to see peace. They want to see justice. And when they come, they don't come as if they have something to, to benefit, even in most cases, right? Okay, we have seen the beginning of this struggle where we have seen different laws, different bills that American Senate and the Congress have passed. Okay, we have seen United Nations pass its own different bill. We have seen EU condemn the killings by the Republic. We have seen the Nigerian government and the Nigerian High Court pass its judgment that they should send all the Naira 10 and all the Taraba 37 back to Nigeria. How many of those judgments did La Republic respect? How many? None. So, even though people are even talking about referendum, are you sure La Republic will respect this referendum first? That you are first of all, even though we don't even know, this is a suggestion by some international partners. Okay? This has nothing to do with any individual. This struggle is not about President Chris Ano. It's not about Ayaba. No, it's not about Sako or whoever. That has nothing to do with that. We are looking for various pathways that will lead us to a justice and peace. Those pathways can come randomly. When we give different examples, right, about referendum, give definition of referendum, it doesn't matter. What matters is what the international community is coming to suggest as options. And when you look at it, you look at the options, right? I've heard a lot of people talk about different options. Referendum is what would be the voting modalities. They'll be asking about the organization and all. Yes, those are genuine concerns. But when you give those suggestions or those points that you are giving, by not even attending the meeting that you are trying to suggest those meeting, by condemning, say no to referendum, how do you help the process? Okay, I'll tell you what has been going on in this struggle, because you can fight and fight and fight. The international community will not care. We have lost our people. We have lost homes. We have lost the economy of our people is going down. What else do you want? Do you want to keep fighting until when the whole place will be blood everywhere. Then you, and this is the end point of every crisis. You either go to those negotiations to have referendum, or you either go to referendum, or you either go to some settlement. There must be some end point in everything, in every crisis. You cannot keep fighting, and you expect who to come and say, okay, this is enough. Whatever you say, I know people like to compare with other crises, compare with other referendums, compare with other settlements and so on. Yes, it's a good thing. But our own specificity is that each referendum was decided by the people. It was not decided. The people who are voting are the people. It's not somebody else who come from somewhere to come and vote. Okay? But we must accept to put those clauses in any internationally supervised referendum. Those clauses makes it, okay, this is what we want. The international community will not come and impose and no, you cannot do this. No. They'll ask the people, you want a referendum? Okay, this is, we will come with the United Nations supervision team to come and supervise the referendum. That's what happens. Okay? The local population will vote. Okay? It will not be like the public people who come and be voting. They cannot be coming to vote, They'll conduct the vote. Even the one that the survey that Cardinal Toomey did, we saw almost 80-something%. It came out to be 80-something% of Ambazonians say they want out of this thing. It will not be different, right? The majority people have already heard there. Do you think Ghost Town is still happening today? You don't know that that's already a referendum? Ghost Town happening now is a referendum. Referendum must not be that, okay, the one we vote, then the vote will not come. This war already is referendum. It's referendum. Okay? And if the majority of the people has already sided with the issue of separation, okay, so why trying to create a kind of picture, definition? Yes, some of them say no to another political scam. What is all that? No to referendum, no to federation. That is not the way international community work. You cannot be saying no. They'll say, okay, go ahead with the war. Keep fighting. After 10 years, so they'll send one of them to come again. Do you want to try to see how you want to do referendum? You say no to another political scam. No to referendum. No. Okay, the international community, what are they losing? Nothing. They will be killing you, fighting, killing. Okay? You start to bring history. How there is no document that is binding the Southern and Northern Cameroon. That is book. That is the what you have on paper. Okay? That is what we have on paper. And the United Nations will still keep those things. Nobody will go and be. Look at how many people have written the British government or the UK Parliament. They say, please stop bringing us this history. Okay? They will prefer to support something like a referendum now than for you start telling them that in 1961 the fake plebiscite in the 11th February 1961, that plebiscite was not a good plebiscite. They don't want to listen to that. Okay? They want something that will end this thing very peacefully and you know, if you are talking that you want solution to your own crisis, and you are telling somebody to go to court with you, start judging cases, people don't have time for that. International community is so busy with different crises. You know how many crises are now ongoing in the world? How many crises? Not to talk of the one going on in Ukraine or whatever. No. There are many. Many war going. Many. But do you know many of these crises are not only independence, there's energy, there's food, there's inflation, there is cost of living. All these things are still crisis. Okay, so don't have disasters. I mean, all the countries, most countries are still facing flooding. So there's a lot of problems going on around the world. And if you think that your own problem is so special, so special that they'll come and be wasting, people have time to come and be talking only be talking about you, about your own case. Ireland had referendums. So many countries have had referendum. They say 23 states allow for citizens to initiate popular referendum. Okay, the popular referendum was first introduced in the United States. These are history about referendum, but when you look at the one that we have, like there are two types of referendum that have been held by UK government: pre-legislation and the post-legislation. Okay, but I'm talking about this because I want us to understand that referendums come like this, okay, but the international community will always supervise international referendum. There are referendum that happens within peacetime, but this our own case is a wartime referendum where they know two countries are warring factions, so they will not allow one of the belligerent to organize the thing. They know that it will be impartial. It will be impartial. So things like determining who to vote, okay, try to see the voting modalities, all those things will be done by the people who are voting. It's the people of Southern Cameroon who decide all those things. They will put all that in place, okay? And when they put all that in place, it gives head for smooth, transparent process, okay? That is it. So please, let's not listen to people who just have the mentality of destruction. If it's not them, better all things spoil. Yes, they prefer to destroy anything. It's just, you know, it's just crazy because the thing is that referendum is not the last of all the solutions. Okay. Yes. So these are just options that some international community members are trying to put forward. So we should not reject options rather than looking for pathway towards resolving the crisis. Okay, rejecting option is just an issue because we behave as if people are coming to help. Then you say no. Okay, you say I don't want help. Don't help me. Let's listen to Comrade Chris Ano, who is going to have a show tomorrow about this issue. So they attended the meeting in Washington, D.C. with the diplomats, with the U.S. State Department, with the U.S. Senate members, U.S. So this initiative has been brought in by some international partners. Do you think that people who are suggesting something good for you really have bad intention? Countries, America, that has been behind us. You think that America will sanction Cameroon government in the AGOA? Okay, remove them from AGOA. Still sanction them, give visa ban. Come again, still give different resolution condemning the Cameroon government for its atrocities. Come again, give our people stay. All Southern Cameroonians in America can just sign up and have a stay without any problem. This, when a country supports you, okay, they don't just go out there and say, no, we support Ambazonian, we are behind Ambazonian. No. What they do makes you know that this country supports you. Imagine that La Republique said that they should arrest all activists in America. American government just go and start arresting all the activists and send them back to. That is when we will know that America does not support us. But America will not just say, oh, or we don't support you. No, or we support you. Their actions will tell you. And this recent meeting that has just happened, the president was present with other leaders. Okay? Let's take a listen to the president.
Today is Sunday, April the 30th, in the year of our Lord, 2023. I am Chris Ano, your comrade in arms. Fellow Ambazonians, I just want to drop this short audio message to you, inviting you to tune in to a very special presentation that I'm going to be bringing to you tomorrow, Monday, May the 1st. I would want to come to you explaining to you the subject of this referendum and the meeting that we held in Washington, D.C. last Monday. I think it is very critical that every Ambazonian understands exactly what we are trying to do and what we are trying to achieve and how we are trying to do it. We are fighting for Ambazonia, and we must carry every Ambazonian along. There are so many concocted messages out there in the social media trying to sabotage this great opportunity, this great effort that God is opening doors with for us. So, we want you to be your own advocates. Come and listen, tune in and listen to the message that I bring to you tomorrow. It is very important. It is very critical. And then after that, you can make your own judgment. You will make your own judgment as to the direction that we are taking. Ambazonian must be free, and whatever route that we would use to free Ambazonia doesn't matter. All that we want is a free and independent Ambazonia. So please tune in tomorrow, Monday, May 1st, 8 p.m. Amber, and listen to this special presentation on ABS TV Live. God bless you all. Please pass this message to everybody that you can and every group that you can. Again, the time is 8 p.m. Amber on Monday, May 1st. Very, very special presentation that I bring to you.
Thank you. That was a precedent on that short briefing there. So when we come back, then we'll bring in another person who will talk something. Okay. Thank you. Let's listen to Mola Wonja, who made some important comments about this issue.
Good morning, brothers and sisters from Southern Cameroon, Ambazonian. Everybody, good morning, happy weekend. Good afternoon, good evening. Any man we ide for ground zero, ground one, diaspora, all over the world, Ambazonians. Make una listen to me very well. My name na Mola Wonja. I don't come today for tell una something way it will be very, very good, we will be very, very important for all we, for we struggle. For the we don't struggle almost 7 years today. I don't come for educate a lot of us. We get to first of all thank we brothers and where they don't stand strong for ground zero, where they fight. We get to thank the resilience, where they don't resist this La Republic people. We get to thank we population them too, the way where they don't stand strong. 6 years goes down, close to 7 years. They don't get thing for chop, they don't kill them, they still stand strong. They do the thing where we ask them for doing, for get with freedom. We want to thank with brothers and where they did prison. They don't stand strong. See, even a way to make they kill all them, they will stand for their points.
Right.
Mancho BBC, Penteres, Sesiseko, and all the cabinet members and all our civilians, the way they lock them for Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. One tell una say thank una very much, because without una, this struggle for go nowhere. We for diaspora, we own now for just push them financially, diplomacy, and any other means, morally, and any other means we would use them for push this struggle. Now no be na time for we for the query or argue about leaders. Everybody get rights like a Southern Cameroonian Ambazonian to bring a good opinion where it go push this struggle for the point where we dey now, where it dey so America, Britain, and Canada and other international organizations, they don't put their hand for inside this with problem. They don't bring a point where they put them up. So we don't want anybody where it come with a very vague idea for try for challenge where they don't put up for table. Anything where America don't put it handy. Una not forget, I be make some other want to say the day one big country, he go put in hand for this struggle, that will be the end of La Republic. We get to thank God, say America don't come, he don't accept say, now even bring the option for we, for referendum. Now America bring the option for referendum. Now America be send Switzerland, now America be accept Switzerland, may stand like a mediator where La Republic refuse. Now America send Canada, where La Republic refuse. Now the last chance is.
I want say make we talk small with to Mola to talk, because Mola na person be for Restoration Council. It'll be the vice president, vice chairman for Restoration Council. Okay. When we talk, say, international community, they hardly come openly. Okay. They come in like in a diplomatic way. Okay. But some of us don't know what to be diplomacy. Okay. I would say repeat this one because it be true. Most of the former leaders from Seseko, Sako, and Iya Marianta, they did nothing when it comes to diplomacy. Nothing. Ask Seseko, ask Sako, ask the others. How many ambassadors will they visit them? Or their foreign minister visit them? Unabiye Tibo Nagi Sese Tokan. It's a since we as the Undersecretary for Home Affairs. Nobody visited him. Nobody talked to him. He said he was even asking. He was even asking Comrade Chris Ano if they had a government foreign minister. What is the job of a foreign minister? Is to consult these people. Okay. Now we don't get opportunity where President Chris don't still go consult these people. Now they don't get meeting for Washington DC. During this meeting, they propose. I want to make let's understand languages, diplomatic languages. When these diplomats they talk something, understand that most of them have spoken about this. But when we say something, una the support in the Republic, una the doing at this, una the doing at this. What? How can country like America have a meeting with our leaders? You people are mad. How do you want to end the crisis? You think that the crisis will just end, that they will just come? Okay, you have fought, they have killed so many of your people. Okay, please, La Republic, end this fight. It will never happen. It will never happen. Most countries will respect referendum than negotiation. Because if you look at it critically, negotiation we can go and sign some paper in negotiation. Who will still come and implement it if not the same international community that you people are rejecting? So when you have countries like America come to say, okay, they think that referendum will be a good option. Listen well. The language is very simple. I know most of you carry things and start translate them in a different way. Okay. That is why tomorrow I want you people to watch President Chris Ano live tomorrow. He will analyze what he discussed with the other leaders in that meeting in Washington, D.C. Because when things happen, people carry them in their head and start saying lies, lies, lies. So, what I want to say here is that the United States is number one supporter of this struggle. Number one. Because what La Republic has, the lies and all the corrupt things that La Republic have done. You know how many lobbies La Republic has hired in America just to frame stories, fool the government, try to cajole American government? Which money do we have to hire those people? You know how many lawyers La Republic has in America that they are trying to look for anything that they can capitalize on? We know La Republic is looking at most of our information in America, but they are looking for where when we commit crime, they will try to follow up on that crime. That's what they do with the manga. So we know that La Republic is following all the activists, all the people who are strong in this struggle. We know that they are doing that. They have lawyers, they have people that they are following our information. But those things will not deter activists, will not deter real people who are in this struggle. It will not deter nobody. And the international community has seen that these Ambazonians are very, very rigorous. They are very, very steadfast. The problem that they have with Ambazonian is that things that we can sit and talk behind, we'll carry them and go front and go and be making noise. If a country come and talk to us as a helper, instead of us sit among ourselves, there are things that we need to sit among ourselves to talk. But as some of our own people are, if it's not them, better all things spoil. The number one problem with that the international community has with Ambazonians is their lack of a united voice. We cannot carry our argument, go and be arguing in international negotiation or international meetings. We have to discuss in-house matters than to carry them, go and be arguing in front of diplomats. We have had this opportunity. This opportunity come once in a while, once in a blue moon. This is 7 years. 7 years. Some people thought that this thing, and I bet you, the referendum is not organized in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. So even this referendum that you people are talking, this referendum that you people are refusing, some of you are started saying, hey, we don't know to referendum, no to the referendum. Even to organize the referendum takes 3 years or more. So you people think that people will just be there fighting. They bring a negotiation. No, we don't want negotiation. We don't want. Then what do you want? Which crisis have ever ended without negotiation? Or which crisis have ever ended without referendum? Or without two parties sitting and talking? So you must do something somewhere. We are lucky that why do you think the international community is coming now? It's because they saw that we are very interested in negotiation. But La Republic is running away from negotiation. So now they are looking for a way to hold La Republic, that La Republic will not have any say. referendum is the only thing that will make the Republic to be quiet. If you don't know, if you want to go with negotiation, you will never win the Republic on the negotiation table. You will never. The only way we can win this thing is when the international community say, the Republic, now we want the people to decide their fate. Allow these people to decide what they want for themselves. The Republic will not have any say, because the Republic cannot come and be telling us, oh, you can vote, you cannot vote. No. They'll pack their troops, pack everything, they'll make a buffer zone. The United Nations will come now and install their troops. The observers mission will come there. They'll be the one doing all those things. They can create a United Nations ID card for only Ambazonians. Those voter cards, that's what they'll use now to vote. It will not be like people coming to organize something. No. And that is what we are talking about. We are talking at a means to end this thing when the international community will recognize us. Thibaut Nagy, let me bring up Thibaut Nagy to when his interview with on the other TV show look, you cannot, if the international community is coming, be very careful. They are coming to solve this problem. They are not coming because they have any interest or whatever. Take a listen to Thibaut Nagy.
Interested in achieving justice, dignity, liberty, fairness for the people of Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia. Referendum is not the goal. Referendum would be a mechanism. And the only reason I cite referendum, it's one possibility. I look at historical cases, and the history I look at specifically related to Africa, but there's obviously others. Referendum is not mutually exclusive from other mechanisms. If I look at the United States of America, the way the United States of America achieved independence is fighting for it, winning the war, and then negotiating the outcome directly with the British. If I look more at Africa, say, let's look at Eritrea. The Eritreans and the Tigrayans fought the Mengistu regime. They eventually chased them out of Addis Ababa. They took over the country, but the Eritreans wanted independence. So they conducted a referendum, and overwhelmingly the Eritreans people, voted to leave, and they created their own country. SPLA, SPLM, South Sudan fought a very, very long civil war against the Sudanese, the northern Sudanese. It was a stalemate for most of it. They liberated a lot of territories, but at the end of the day, the Sudanese government agreed to a referendum. They conducted a referendum, and the South Sudanese voted, I think, 98%, something like that, for independence. If you look back further, even a country such as Norway, they had a union with Sweden, and there was an election in the early 1900s, a referendum, and they voted to disassociate, to dissolve the union, and to create their own country. So in history, referendums have been combined with other mechanisms to achieve independence, so that you have countries that may have de facto independence, but to get the what's called de jure independence, sometimes a referendum is required so that the global community says, okay, the people on the ground voted for it, so we will recognize it. There is another interesting case right now in Africa, which in a little bit parallels the situation in Ambazonia, and that's the case of Somaliland. Somaliland British Somaliland and Italian Somaliland joined together to form the nation of Somalia. British Somaliland became independent first. After Siad Barre was overthrown, the Somalilanders very much wanted independence. They fought for it. They achieved it. They have now been running their own state very successfully for 20 some years, even longer. And yet the only country in the world that recognizes Somaliland happens to be Taiwan, because the Africa Union has its own dynamics, why they don't do it, other countries don't do it. And yet Somaliland is at least as successful a nation as most other nations, around them. So it's a complicated situation, but often a referendum is a very good means to get the international community's acceptance of the state's being.
Do you realize, Mr. Nach, that all the examples you have mentioned, none of them really have a typical story? Eritrea, Sudan, Somaliland, that can be likened to case of Saudi.
Well, you've heard. I want to bring up some very important. The important key point that I want to gather from here is that South Sudan, Eritrea, even Somaliland, all of them had referendum. But he gave an example of Somaliland case, right? Somaliland case. What happened in Somaliland? So Somaliland fought for their independence, right? But because they did not go through referendum, most countries could not recognize them. Okay? A referendum gave strong basis or strong reason for other countries to support your country. Okay? Because they'll say, okay, the people voted. So Cameroon government will not be mad with this other country for supporting the legitimacy, because it's also a matter of legitimacy. You can fight this war for 20 years, and you you're glad that you have independence, but no country will recognize you. That's what is happening with Somaliland today. Okay, but if the international community, like America, come. America is not coming alone. That's one thing we have to understand. When America supports something, it comes with his allies. That's what they call ally powers. It comes with a lot of countries behind her. So, if we have had this opportunity and we are missing it, then we don't know what we are fighting for. This is just one meeting that is happening, or that happened in Washington DC. Okay, we can fight for the next 7 more years. Countries will not come, and we'll be asking why. And they have seen, the international community have seen our resilience. They have seen that these people really want independence. They will leave you people to fight for some time and see if you can resist. And they have seen it. So, what kind of way do you want to resolve a crisis? What? How? People are coming to put their head together. You say, no, we don't want this. And if you want to go your own way, they will abandon you. Then no country will recognize you. You can go and say you have your independence, but no country will recognize you. Imagine, this is, okay, do you know there are still countries now that exist, but countries cannot recognize them? Taiwan is one example. Taiwan cannot be recognized by many countries. Why? Because China is still claiming ownership on Taiwan. Macau is another country that China is still claiming ownership. And any country that wants to recognize China, China gets angry with that country. Hong Kong is another one. These are countries with president. They have their own election, everything. Yet, they cannot be having membership in the United Nations. Because China is still claiming ownership to Hong Kong. Yes, you saw when the Hong Kong people had protests that they don't want China law to be used in Hong Kong. They had protests until protest. How many years you saw they arrested all those protesters? China's arrested all those protesters in Hong Kong. So that is how the international community work. You ask yourself, but this kind of Hong Kong is a very rich, autonomous state, but no country is recognizing them. Why? Because China is still claiming ownership. And it's the same thing with us. If La Republic is still claiming ownership on Ambazonian, you can go left, go right, go left, turn, recount the history that you want. The only thing that will make recognition faster is something like a referendum, where the people will say, please, okay, the international community will say, we will recognize what you people decide. And that's how they do. They'll come and say, okay, you decide if you want to have a referendum, that's a good option. And that's what they are trying to do now. But some people say, oh, do you think you people are La Republic agent? La Republic agent. Oh, you want... It's very good to know what is international community and how they do. Let's listen to Sama Thomas.
Fellow Southern Cameroonians, good afternoon and good morning. Just yesterday, I've been there for a town hall meeting with the try for brainstorm on which way it take place for Hudson University for America Day in regard to the Southern Cameroon's question or quest. And the position where I will put them now with some individuals within the American system that take them. Will it be, if it talks, it be plausible. But I mean, express one fear, and which will be that fear? The fear of sabotage. Because Southern Cameroon get an attitude of sabotage where if something happen, it not happen not through me. Mm-hmm. Make me a sabotager.
Sabotage.
Because it not happen not through my initiative.
Exactly.
I've been strong for advice. Say for these spoilers and saboteurs, where they therefore were missed. Make them not go contact any American citizen who will be there for that meeting for ask questions. So if you get any question for ask, call your brother. Ask and say that meeting will I be go for this show. Will I be discuss the show for day? May I brother tell you what will be discussed? No go call an American citizen for ask, because if you go call an American citizen for ask you will get a contrary view for which you will be agreeing for day. And once you express that contrary view with ye, the Western man they so if he engages on thing where it is or the two engage, they all would be in agreement to it. But if you see a contrary view, it drop them straight Igoyi, come back for them. As if I would be a prophet of doom. But I don't be proven right. So which way I be talking with the exactitude of a Jewish prophet. And maybe no say when I be condemned, which I be strong condemn. So my brother them be there for their own side. Sako Ekome Samuel with the gang. They will not flood the whole social media space with their anti-messages as concerned which will take place on Hudson University for America. Which is Sako Ekome Samuel and Yigang, they put them out. Oh, they're not talking to Southern Cameroon go for day, but they don't choose for pick out one Southern Cameroon for blackmail them from morning to evening at their nightmare, Chris Anno. Chris Anno, na public agent, where he don't connect with America and Tibo Nash. So make organize referendum for Southern Cameroons.
Oh boy.
And so make Southern Cameroon not listen for Chris Anno because in a public agent with the wrong bribe, they will start the bribe now 3 years ago, and so on and so forth. I don't talk about several of Southern Cameroonians. If you hate your brother, if you and your brother get problem, maybe we that end that problem within the sphere of what's that problem there. Not become Lucifer yourself for the blackmail your brother because you and your brother would get problem. It means that you don't outstep your own bounds for blackmail. And I don't get some one video where it confirm the fact. Say all along, Sakobi don't constitute a gang of blackmailers for this struggle they call us a Blue Army. Now today I do understand say so, but we talk Blue Army. They associate me with Blue Army. I'm always asking what is
thank Comrade Samuel Thomas. And I know one more even talk about the past for you. I want more to look forward. Because I want to say maybe we talk if in case the referendum question can be something, what do we do? Because this thing go back and forth. This one the cause you one, this one cause. You need to help the international community to give an option. This thing na option. Okay, say this referendum option is good for this fight. They don't observe this fight for 7 years. They don't look and say the way we go end the thing fast. It go still go for our favor. They don't look and they look and okay, wait till we go start looking now. We go start looking at that now the way now the process we go favor we because now we the vote no na la public they can't vote. Our people. Now Southern Cameroonian they vote, Ambazonian they vote. The same Southern Cameroonian in the way that they still respect ghost town till today. That's why we talk say make that ghost town no ever shake. That ghost town they still tell you say the whole people of Ambazonia they want their independence. That is another the ghost town. Anything we would do for Ambazonia today, lockdown, ghost town, shut down, anything we would do, we tell the international, we send a message to the international community. There's some people they say, oh, we suffer the local population, oh, we make them, oh, they get 2-day lockdown. Those things are instruments of a referendum. Now, instrument of a referendum that if the whole of Amazonia they lock down on Mondays this is 7 years. Now referendum that. So if people they condemn referendum, they already hold a referendum every Monday. Every Monday, that's referendum. When one may they go right and say referendum, Monday country, Sunday goes down a referendum. Because the whole of Ambazonia, they respect them. So, on a one Oscar referendum again. That is referendum. It tell the international community say, no one make these people the control. Una one get on own control by on own self. That's what referendum they. Referendum will tell you say, now which way we get for the donor? Say waiting. We get for start plan towards this referendum vote. Okay, it will be official. Because the war first of all now na first referendum that the war na first referendum. That way the teachers and lawyer they will start that na the first referendum and that will part of the march with peace plant. Na first referendum. The second referendum now waiting. The second referendum now when our boys they start carry their own material them. They start hold their dang on them. The third referendum, now when all the whole of Ambazonia, they respect the law from the interim government. The other referendum now we want, and now the final one we will just talk with the international community go approve them. Because now already get a referendum. The international community knows say these people have fought for 7 years. Which is that one they show? It shows that they no one stay with La Republic again. So why wanna go the fear referendum when the war is already a referendum? It's already a referendum. Why would the fear say referendum they go cheat, they go do this? Which way we go for do? We go for start plan because normally if referendum come, the international community will come in. The United Nations will come and they will get what it call and say buffer zone. Buffer zone means say La Republic military no go be. They go put all material for down. International community will come. We will decide the day for the voting. Normally La Republic no get nothing for do that one. Because the international community could tell and say, please shift aside. Leave that with their land. These are the people who own this land. Okay, they will decide on their fate. So carry your army and move. Another way for solve the crisis. People their own argument they are different. They look at another thing. Them we already our firepower is already referendum. The law the way did for inside Ambazonian now waiting. No construction, no reconstruction. That way, the first one way will be put on that time where they say no schools. Those are part of referendum. Because all the Ambazonian became respect them. No man will be go school. Almost 3 to 5 years. You see. Now, we still talk about all those things. Why? Because the people of Amazonia, they respect those laws. The people of Amazonia does not respect La Republic. La Republic don't try for even go carry the refugees. Why if you say our refugees they still there for Nigeria? La Republic don't try to go carry them. They tell and say no. That now already referendum that because all the refugees the way they sit there for Nigeria. If you say if they call vote today, they go vote and say they want to go join back with La Republic. Even witchcraft. So more no they worry about referendum fine, referendum no fine. In this Christ, they want a referendum. I want to make that one may go for a mind first. And I don't even worry about the vote even. This war is already a referendum. Because the thing we want to tell now, this war no go end. See the day where La Republic, the last soldier for La Republic, he go leave that land. So when I not even worry about this vote, no one no vote, this one no. Na lie. Till the last soldier for La Republic go come off for that land. So before we go tell our boys and say, okay, una put that material refer down. Even they get the referendum today. Well, those guys will not drop those materials. They not go put that thing ever down. No. They not go put them down. They go hold up. If you know worker, the thing to continue. Because it must, till the last soldier for La Republic come off for that land. That matter not go end. So I know you know what I worry about referendum, they go cheat we, the one they go fear, the one they go fear. That will not be important. The thing we go for the thinker now. Now wait how we feel the kind of referendum we feel hold up. If now the one way they will talk say, okay, this referendum about voting separation, final separation, or referendum for ownership, property and everything will go. So now the kind of thing that will go for the thinker. Because this referendum is not about independence. No. This referendum now not about independence. It's about anything with La Republic claim say get on we. What they say no, voting to leave any relationship with this people they claim legal separation where we just say okay, these people have voted to leave on forget about Ambazonian people. So let's not worry ourselves about those innuendos trying to bring history. I don't want to even talk history because we're not talking about history here anymore. Okay, we have done with that. We have surpassed that level of coming to define referendum, coming to define plebiscite. All those things are just legal jargons. I don't want to be talking about those things. What we want to talk now is the method, the diplomatic method, because diplomacy, like I said before, is very tricky. Let's look the path that we can go towards the referendum. Okay, one, we could know the modalities and for vote. Who go vote? Now that kind of thing we will go for the start talking now. Just in case the referendum come, because the referendum it never fair come, so more know the fair talk. The UN and international community, they feel talk say referendum, but La Republic deny. So the war will continue. But any option we international community bring up, more will go towards there, and a day way they come with their support. But won't start reject international community thing. The fact say that they can't support we now because La Republic reject Canada talk. Yes. They see and say La Republic don't want to end the crisis. So make will be very tricky. Make will be very, as we do thing them, because we know say yes. We will make sure say anything will happen. The thing away we leader them, we get for the start, she don't talk now. How we go determine the people where they go vote? For example, if man marry Francophone woman, that Francophone woman go vote or not, that kind of thing. So we want to say make it be spell out typical Ambazonians. Now then go to vote for this thing. We no go one vote we go and say if you marry some Francophone guy, that Francophone guy born Peking, they want me that Francophone guy can vote. If you see that Francophone guy go vote yes, you don't go vote yes. So when they come to these kind of things, who the kind of thing that will go for the talk now. Who will supervise the election? How many votes them or the organization we believe say they will come supervise them. Now we the choose this thing them. Again, not to do La Republic. Again, not to do La Republic. The international community though it can create a buffer zone with all Ambazonians across the world. They will land inside Ambazonia for they go do their voting, supervised by the international community. So You know, get nothing to do with La Republic. Some more not even worry that one say the one do no. Yes. Now the very important thing that we do want talk, okay? We don't get opportunities for go for negotiation table, but La Republic don't deny. So the international community does say, even una go for 10 different negotiation processes, La Republic no come. Because they know so una go win them for day. Okay? Now the international community do realize and say, since the people are determined and La Republic don't want to go to negotiation table, what do you feel be the next option? Those people where they deny referendum, now where they want to fight for the next 20 years. Then they begin talk say this president go be T-Boya, this president go be T-Boya. When I go to get president them, we even no strategy for diplomacy. You know no strategy for diplomacy. Foreign minister never meet one senator say for even talk 1-to-1. You can't say foreign minister. You foreign minister for who? It's donors. And lack of diplomatic intelligence. Okay? They want to say, oh, do fight. Then country do come. Country do can talk say, okay, now Ambazonians have suffered. Ambazonians have died. Ambazonians are in the bush. Ambazonians are in the prison. Okay, now La Republic come to negotiation table. Come and sit here. You think say if La Republic deny for go for Switzerland, it deny for go for Canada. Now other country if you say you go call La Republic, make a shit on, it go come. It no go come. The only time we La Republic go agree, say they want this way, they no get no choice. Now only through referendum. Because for referendum, you no get no say. Even if you talk say, I will not have, I don't want more to get referendum. No. I never ever say I'm for the world. The only thing where they feel whole La Republic so, when the whole La Republic so, for a man picking skin, the whole is so for a man picking skin, where you know shake, na referendum, because one, no money the organizer, two, they try na for Ambazonian them. Una want get referendum, when I say yes, they say okay, una go ahead. I say they. And they go come put a buffer zone when the United Nations they come move all army, they move any fighting thing, ceasefire, nothing. The organizer in a free and fair, transparent place with no war they go on, then they organize the election. So that's it could be. So any man will know if you understand how that thing they work, make they argue, then when I waste time. Instead for draw strategy. So tomorrow, President Chris Anogo can talk about the real way they discuss for New York, for Washington DC. Okay, the American government is sending on delegation. You get the United Nations be sending on delegation. The different leader them they be there. When I go here tomorrow, he go talk because. When would they talk something then? So people they do it just because say nobody then go for that meeting. Oh, they know want this, they no go do this. On the fight the war so on the war, you know how many years Sudan and South Sudan they fight? Find out South Sudan and Sudan, how many years they fight? Almost 20 years. I'm telling you, ask Eritrea them. How long they fight their own war with Ethiopia. We do get lucky, say, we don't fight for some short time. But we get some positive response from different people. 7 years, but those get positive response. So they don't sanction Cameroon government with AGOA. They don't give visa ban. They don't give this. They don't do this. We need to see and say this struggle is God ordained. So make we know the instead go block our path. When God will open and so we'll go block them. We'll go block them with all this nonsense argument. They left and right. if I say me know what to be referendum, I'm gonna know the benefits of a referendum before start argue. Because for the argue way, it no go help we, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. On La Republic, when I go Switzerland negotiation, they say La Republic say you come. Now who go holy? No man of you holy. The Switzerland government can't tell we say La Republic don't say they need to go again for that Switzerland negotiation. We should done for interim government. We discuss them. What happen? We to know say La Republic don't deny for camp for Switzerland. The next one na Canada. La Republic send Prime Minister, he go organize Canada this thing. Time we will send the interim government, say may they go now with the foreign minister, may they go sit down, they talk. La Republic talk say he never he send letter for Canada government, say they no ever start any Canada talk. See BB lie, will La Republic lie. So the Canada surprise. Say say no una send delegation for Canada, may they can for Canada negotiation. How now they can't talk say una no even know what to be Canada negotiation. So these people way they deny referendum, una go left for 10 different negotiations. La Robin no ever come. And international community no get way where they feel whole at the public for camp on negotiation table. Okay. They will give them sanctions. See Russia with Ukraine, their war now. They don't give Russia how many sanctions? Can't sanction. But Putin even feel not himself. They don't block Russia, they banks them. They don't block this, block that. Putin is still fight. So La Republic get way where they feel holy. But the international community don't know how they feel holy. Because one, remember, France to the backup, and most countries no one anger France. Okay, so the only way they feel no another say these people let's allow these people to decide what they want. Now all that like probably no get nothing when they say allow these people to decide. Now wait, that's referendum, and that time now we now she done they decide the modalities of the referendum, not La Republic or France. So why we go for the argue way instead for she done draw those modalities and how one the referendum may be. We did it with the argue left and right. Eh? So tomorrow she done we listen to Comrade Chris Ano. I think we can explain some detail in the way I don't know. But we know say they be get the meeting and orally that they be did it. And Ego can tell we now how waiting now they talk and the State Department members. State Department means say American government. Don't forget. Be attended by State Department. State Department means saying American government delegation where they send them for the. Then you get Senate. The Senate people to Napo where they like the top representative of America. So they send also the representative for their own American representative Congress for Congress. So these are the level of people where they be attending. Then other leaders now, the SCNC, they be did it. People that they focus only for the negativity them. Okay. So tomorrow I beg make Comrade Chris go come explain them. They will hear something away. Me, I know, though I'm a member of government, but something in the way I don't know. You go can't explain, they will listen to, they will know which way, and the next step now will start talk, So thank you now for listening, and tomorrow we'll wait for you for President Chris Ano, and we will know as we will do. So thank you now for watching, and please do not forget for subscribe to the channel, okay? I will come with the discussion every time. So please subscribe so that when I come online, you will see as I come.